Welcome to the American Hard Enduro podcast. Post-race recap, Battle of the Goats 2026. Big day for Drew Kirby.
Who are you?
I'm Collin Kirby.
There you go. So what are we doing?
Just a little talk about the race, what you thought of it.
Well, we're driving back. We're in the camper. Got some new mics. We're testing it out. You're the host, so let's hear it. You got the intro?
Yeah, that was pretty strong.
All right.
So, you won A-Class, 40A Senior.
Yep, the easy with the senior. We'll just call it 40A.
Well, it's 40A. You won 40A.
We're not saying that senior crap.
You and the pros had two different lines.
We did.
Pro A's, Pro Splits, and A Splits. What'd you think of that?
It was love-hate. I loved it when I didn't have to do some of the super gnarly stuff that they had out there. Mm-hmm. It did shuffle it up a little bit because similar to like the SEER races where you have gold, bronze splits or any A-B splits, you'll get B riders in front of you. In this case, it was A riders in front of the pro riders. So, we had to be aware that these guys weren't lapping us. They were behind us because we took an easier line. So they made it, seriously, some of the pro splits super heavy. First pro split, pro A split was at the top of Chicken Fight. I think I passed 3 pros there. So I was ninth after the prologue on Saturday. So I started on the second row of A's, which was like the 7th row. I think there was 5 rows of pros. So I passed like 3 there. So I was just like, all right, I've got some guys behind me. Then the second split was the second half. I lost my balls, and they put them up this slab that was gnarly. According to Jarrett Moan, our buddy who's still riding the pro class, even the back of the pro class, there was 12 of them stuck there. So when I came across the A split that basically dropped in right above this slab, I saw 5. I saw Creed, I saw Maverick, I saw Max Beaupre, all down there. I yelled at him, told him how awesome it was to be in the A class, flipped him a bird, and said, I'm gone.
Really?
So, just a little gamesmanship, of course, just having fun. So, on we went from there. But back to your question, I liked it in the fact that we rode most of the course. As in, I'm sorry, let me back up. We were able to ride our motorcycles up most of the course. There was a couple heavy sections, and that's what Jared asked me. He goes, were any of the A splits hard? And I'm like, no, all the A splits of the Pro A splits were easy. The hardest stuff we did was on the combined Pro A course. So we still did some pretty gnarly stuff. The craziest thing to me, we went and did some track walk at Winsel's water slide. That was an A pro split. We had to go up the water slide. So the water slide is now the easy line, and the pros went up this insane hill to the right of the water slide. So again, it gives the track promoters and the US Hard Enduro crew an opportunity to ramp up the pro course to a super high level and not worry about the A's making a lap, making a check, any of that stuff. So it's good and bad. I would like to ride the pro lines or have a combined course so, on Monday or Tuesday, I can look back and be like, oh man, how I compared to not the top pros, but middle to back of the pack pros. So that's the only thing. Like someone like Jarrett Moan, we compete a lot and it's fun to ride with him, but I got past him at the first Pro A split at the top of Chicken Fight and never saw him again. So long story short, loved it, hated it a little bit, more loved it than hated it because, and hate's not even the right word. I see the point, and they even did, so the way Battle of the Goats did it, on Saturday was like the BC race, and there was BC splits, so they could cater the course to the B riders and the C riders, back it way down for the C riders. Again, the whole goal is to grow the sport, make it to where each class gets kind of what they want and is able to navigate, make some laps, make some checks, and not have too much thrown at them.
Very interesting. So I talked to our friend, factory vanilla rider Max Beaupre, about the pro split at Winsel's water slide. And
the big hill climb.
The big hill climb, yes. He said that they should have made the big hill climb the A split, and they should have had the pros go up the water slide. He said it was the easiest thing one of the easiest things he did all day.
Really, that hill climb?
Yes.
Okay, so that's interesting because that bike, his Benell E-Moto, is really good at, there's no gearbox, so it's just all or nothing. Power to, so he was stuck at the Lost My Balls split. Tristan and Ryder and him are the only 3 people to make that rock slab. So it's interesting, but Jarrett said that was one of the hardest splits for him, was that hill climb, because he got a good run. It was not much run up, and it was kind of a dirt hill. So Max is really good at dropping the hammer and keeping that E-Moto going straight. So interesting that he thought that was easier than the water slide. I will say, previous to this race, I've only ever been up the water slide once successfully.
Really?
Actually, once ever. I've only tried it once. I've made it once. Jarrett Moan was at the top, helped me. This time, I did it both laps. So I made 2 laps and a check on the A course. And I rode it. I think Travis Wilson was at the bottom. I said, "What do you think, Travis, second or third gear?" And he goes, "On my bike, I do it in second." He told me eyes up, heels down. And I was like, okay. So I went into it and got my momentum at the bottom and had good drive, didn't go crazy with the throttle, and just kind of maintained momentum. And I was talking to Creed Kissling yesterday, and he had some good advice. He said that he's come down it, as in not made it, and slid down it numerous times. And he said the biggest thing from his perspective is not to just go crazy with the throttle and lose it and throw the bike and you go sliding down first. He kind of turns the bike, pushes the bike down first, so it's not chasing you and, potentially hitting you on the way down.
Yeah, that's probably a smart idea. So next thing I want to ask you, what do you think the hardest A split or just A section out there was?
There wasn't any.
Really?
Like, all of our A splits were super easy go-arounds of the really hard pro classes. The 2 hardest things for me were above AHE Waterfall. We do a little creek, and then you get to a hill climb. And in the past, it was a hill climb to the right.
Yep.
And the first year we ever did this, there was a Yellow Jackets nest at the bottom. So when you didn't make it, you had to come back down, turn around, get stung by Yellow Jackets, and it was a real motivator to get up that hill.
Dang.
And every year, again, this was the driest Battle of the Goats I've ever been to.
Yep.
Did stuff that normally would just not even be possible. So that was a cool feeling, made some of the sections much more rideable, much more enjoyable. But so this year, instead of going to the right, we had to go up this hill to the left that was probably maybe just as steep, but twice as long, and had some big rocks sticking out. So you actually went up to the right, and that was when you had to turn around. That was your run-in to the new hill.
Yep.
So I think I took 2 or 3 tries at that, and then the problem was 3 or 4 of us would be in there, and then you'd have to wait your turn. So that was a big hold up on the first lap. Second lap, made it first try, kind of got ridden in a little bit, and it rode a little better. The other spot was, I think it's called Graham's Gulch.
Okay.
It was another big rock slab. In the first lap, none of us could do it. I ended up getting up to a spot, and I was trying to push my bike up something that I wasn't going to be able to do. Luckily, a guy named Casper from Hawaii, he had made this crazy wall ride to the right they said was the best line, and he gave me a tug, so I got up there. Then another kid I was riding with, Cole Clarkson, he did the wall ride but didn't make it. I was trying to help him pull his bike up. He lost the bike, and I tried to stop myself. I slid literally off this waterfall just on my butt. Luckily, my bike didn't go with me.
Yep.
So that was an interesting spot. And so, first lap, got through it, and I'm like, okay, starting the second lap, thinking about things that I'm dreading on this second lap. And those 2 spots were the first that came to mind, and the second lap rode much better. The hill climb, like I said, I made it. Then that big rock slab, no one was there. So I was like, can't even get help. I'm just done. And I hit that wall ride to the right, bounced off it perfectly, and got up it. So was super happy about that.
Okay.
But yeah, that was really, again, none of the A splits were hard. The hardest was the combined course Pro A.
Interesting. So I wanted to ask you about the prologue on, what day was that, Saturday.
Okay.
So I saw a little bit of it, not a whole lot.
Yep.
I know it was pretty. There was some chunky stuff. There was one Pro A split.
Yep.
And the hill that the A's had to go up.
Yep.
Looked pretty like chewed out. Like there wasn't a good like.
It was like a switchback hill.
Yes.
Yep.
So I just wanted to ask you what you thought of the whole prologue, like everything about it.
So I thought it was an awesome prologue. It was hard enough that it really put us in the place we needed to be at. I think it gave the hard enduro guys enough hard stuff so that like a faster guy couldn't just get in front of us and cause problems.
Yep.
The coolest thing I think they did for the prologue is individual 30 seconds apart starting order. And that really reduced the bottlenecks, because last year there were some big bottlenecks on the prologue. So props to them for making that adjustment. And again, it was dry, so it helped. But they added, so anyone that's ever done the race, chutes and ladders is a real common feature creek. So there's a bypass around chutes and ladders. We actually, the Pro A split was up the bypass. The pros ducked off to the right in this gnarly creek. The A's went on up the switchbacks, but then instead of dropping into chutes and ladders, we turned right and had to go up again, and it was pretty heavy. When I got there, there was 5 or 6 guys there, and they'd opened up a couple lines, and a guy's clutch had gone out in the main line. Adam Tripp was trying to get around him, and one of the course workers kind of said, hey, you could hit this, and it honestly was a make or break for my prologue.
Yep.
If I tried it and I wouldn't have made it, I would have been stuck. Not stuck. I would have had to turn around and get in line behind these other guys. But it allowed me to pass probably 3 guys.
Really?
And then I fell in behind Adam Tripp, and we had some good battles. He's another 40A guy.
Yep.
So we had some good battles the rest of the prologue. I was able to get around him, and I think I started 2 rows ahead of him for the Sunday race. But no, the prologue was, like I said, it was awesome. And I contemplated on the way there, if the A line was really clogged up, if I could take the pro split just to try to make some passes, because we looked at it and it looked heavy, but I was like, if there's 15 dudes stuck in the A line, it might be worth it. But luckily didn't have to. Well, first of all, I didn't know if I'd get disqualified for doing that. And second of all, luckily there wasn't that many guys in it. But no, it was an awesome prologue. Had a little bit of everything in it.
Yes. I heard the prologue was great. I heard the whole race was amazing. Most of the people I talked to said traction was amazing, and they just loved it. They said it was like a really good race.
It was, like I said, we were supposed to get a bunch of rain on Saturday, and we could have used it. It was super dusty when we got here on Friday.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm glad it didn't. It all stayed south of us around the Charlotte area, and they didn't have to make any big course adjustments. The course, again, the A course was spot on. The pros said, other than that one rock slab and lost my balls, Jarrett said it was like, it took 6 of them to get a bike up, because it was just, if you couldn't ride it, it was just no easy way to get a bike to the top.
Yeah.
But no, it was awesome. So you did media this weekend.
I was the media guy.
You came over to do some media, help out with our bike stuff. So you got a media vest. You got some media training from Ryan and Max.
Yes.
They told you the rules and the lay of the land, so you got to run around on a bike, a lot of different spots. I know your answer, but what was the craziest area thing you saw while you were out there hopping around?
So for Saturday, it was during the prologue and the BC race.
Okay.
For the BC race, it was probably chicken fight. There were some gnarly loop outs that were there. Like 2 dudes side by side did one at the same time and like took each other down the mountain.
Okay.
Someone got hurt up there, and then for the prologue, it was probably, I was at Winsel's water slide, the creek below it.
Okay. For again, the prologue,
Yes, during the prologue. And there was it was a pretty chunky creek.
Yep.
And most of the guys that went through there looked really good. And it was very interesting to see how they would like dink and dunk and hit all their lines and try and make traction.
Okay.
And then for Sunday.
Yeah, so Sunday, I know you're in. This is what I thought you were gonna start with, but go for it.
So Sunday, definitely chutes and ladders.
Yeah.
It was, so I was there for you to go through your first lap.
Yep.
And then that was I think the last time I saw you. Yep. I saw you there.
So for anyone that doesn't know, chutes and ladders got its name from this massive rock you had to get up, and Tyler Mull, the guy that runs Brushy Mountain, built a ramp to get us up this one feature. And it was a wooden ramp, and he'd put shingles on it, to help with some traction because, wood and moisture equals very slick.
Yes.
Well, the ramp made it, I think, 1 year, and then it was gone. And so we didn't ride it 1 year, and then the next year he's like, I think they can do it without the ramp. So now there is no chute or ladder. I guess there is there's no ladder, and you have to shoot it up.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to your story. You were there.
So after you had gone through, I was there with a bunch of A-class riders. I was there with Jarrett Moan, and it was like a crazy bottleneck. Just the top of the chute had gotten just wet from all the dudes, and like no matter what people were doing, it was just, they were just spinning. They'd get to the top. One dude, I think, fell down like 3 or 4 times, just didn't have traction.
Ugh.
And like Ryder LeBlanc, never seen him struggle like that bad. Like he got up there and he just like spun. It was insane.
It was an incredible, like most of the rocks this weekend had really good grip, especially if there was water flowing.
Yes.
But outside the water, and then these rocks, the rock at the top of the basically the big rock you had to get up was super smooth in the shade, and then like Collin said, the mud got on it and you couldn't go anywhere. And then you would fall down, your bike wouldn't, you couldn't stand up, and it was, I'd watched some footage from last year. We did the same thing, and there were several guys that were stuck in that same spot. And the goal was to hit the first big rock, carry just enough speed to make it up the second one. And my second lap, I was up there. I was doing the same thing you said Ryder was. I was just not going anywhere, floundering.
Yep.
And I hear somebody rev it behind me and dump it, and I'm like, I'm gonna get killed. Because if you fall to the right, it is a massive hole.
Oh, it's
it's probably 15, 20 feet down.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And it was Cavello Huddy, and dude, there was not much room to my left. It was a wall, a little room, and me, and he hit it and threaded the needle, never spun a tire. And I was like, I don't know how. I literally couldn't put my feet down where he did it. And props to him. Those the Hawaiian boys can ride on that stuff for sure.
Yeah, that Hawaiian ice back home for them.
Yeah, and they said it's the opposite at home. They felt like the creeks were slick where the water was, and you wanted to be outside the water. And I was like, if the rocks were dry, you were fine. But if they were like the water was splashing, the algae was growing, it was pretty treacherous.
Yes,
so.
I agree. When I was just from walking 2 chutes and ladders, I had one pretty good like slip and fall. Just I stepped on one slippery rock, and it was just that foot just was gone.
Well, so you obviously chutes and ladders was a big spot for carnage and bottlenecks.
Yep.
Again, there was maybe first lap there was me and 3 other A guys there. Second lap it was me and one of the same A guys because we rode together a lot.
Yeah.
And then probably 2 other A riders we were lapping.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything too crazy. What did you make it up to Winsel's for all that whole area?
Winsel's? No, I never made it to Winsel's today.
Really?
Yes, I don't know why I didn't.
I was gonna say because that was the plan after chutes and ladders was to go there. I thought.
Yeah, so I was starving after chutes and ladders.
Man, you're a media guy. You got to eat on the road, dude. You can't be like taking breaks during the day.
Dude, I'm not that skilled. I can't ride and eat a burrito at the same time.
Well, you got to put it in your pocket. Eat it when you're waiting.
Pocket burrito.
So you got how's our content game? What'd we get?
It's pretty good. The biggest thing is it's just a lot of little clips. Like there's no long there's no like I almost want you to wear like a GoPro, like a chest mount. I know you hate it.
I hate watching them. Yeah.
I know you do, but like I just need like some long videos because a lot of it's just like short clips. It's not like everyone was so spaced out you couldn't get like a long like continuous clip of just like
2 guys battling.
Through. Yeah.
Well, okay, so you obviously, I would assume you saw Tristan and Ryder and some of the big boys.
Yes, I did.
What was the coolest thing you saw? Was there like anything you were like, holy cow, that was super impressive?
Not a whole lot. I didn't really see him in any super hard sections.
Okay.
So I saw him a little bit in Little Romania.
Okay. Oh yeah, that was another A split. We didn't have to do Little Romania.
Romania was a pretty big hill.
It was heavy.
It was heavy.
Yeah.
So there was a lot going on when they came through.
Okay.
So I didn't walk over to like the actual split. I just was at where they climbed up.
Okay.
So that I really didn't see them do anything insane, and I didn't make it to Chicken Fight in time.
Okay.
Because by the time you had made it through the Endurocross track, Max had, and I was able to get up there. Max Beaupre had already gotten through. All the big boys had, and I think you were like almost done by the time I got to the bottom.
Well, so let's go back to the very start.
Oh yeah.
So we started typical Endurocross track, and the splatter that Tyler had last year, basically big concrete structure with a couple rocks to get a splatter going. Most everyone, actually, let me rephrase. Everyone I saw in front of me did it.
Yep.
I did it. It was easier than I thought. I thought it was going to be bad. We have been working on some splatters, so I think that definitely helped. Did you see any carnage, or did you leave after I went through?
So I left after you went through. There was one guy in front of you who went to hit it, and his linkage got caught on the lip.
Oh, yeah.
So he went and just he almost went over the bars. He had so much momentum. He hit and just stopped, and his feet came off the pegs.
No way.
So he landed with his feet on the big septic tanks.
Okay.
And
was this the guy that was before Jarrett?
I think
who
it
got
was.
stuck? He sat there and just spun and spun and spun,
Yep.
like everyone stacked up behind
Yep.
him. Okay.
So that was the only real carnage I saw.
Yeah.
But that splatter, they moved the rocks farther away from it.
Yep.
So there was a bigger gap.
Agreed.
Is what I felt like than last
Yep.
year. And it's probably, I wouldn't say 6 feet, maybe a little less.
Yeah.
Because it was a little taller than I am, and I'm not close to 6 feet.
Yeah.
So that was probably the splatter. I didn't see any carnage. I'm sure
Okay.
there was some crazy stuff there. Let's see.
Well, and what was interesting from the takeoff to the actual where you hit the splatter
Yep.
was further, and it was kind of freaking me out because it was a bigger hole. The rocks that they had for takeoff rocks were almost sharp, so if you fell back on them, it looked like they would just rip you to shreds because, again, they were so sharp looking.
Yep.
We were all, as we were waiting for the race to start, most of the pros were over there, eyeballing, because the tractor tires into the splatter were probably harder, or the loader tires on a tractor, they were huge tires, were probably harder than the splatter. But
100%.
One thing Ryder Guest said was he thought the splatter would be easier because they moved it apart so you had more room to get lift. It wasn't so abrupt and quick, which I thought was interesting. Again, in my head, I was scared because it was further away, but I will say Ryder was correct that extra space gave you more lift to hit, and I did it 3 times, and I actually never took a foot off the peg all 3 times. I was thoroughly impressed.
Because I know a couple guys were joking around, but they were I think I could almost double the splatter, come off the rock and
clear
clear
it.
it.
Well, when we were talking to Max before, he was thinking he could bunny hop it.
Yeah.
But he didn't. So, but no, it was good. Like I said, the Endurocross was good. Everything, the splits, they ton of work, and they even did. So they made basically 4 courses: a base BC loop with B and C splits. We ran a lot of that loop, and actually they made, I don't even want to know how many courses they made. So we had that loop, the BC course. Then we had the pro prologue course Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Then they had 2 kids races this morning, Sunday morning.
Dang.
And then they had our Pro A course. So it was crazy. The prologue we ran in the opposite direction. So the main race course went clockwise. The prologue went counterclockwise. So it was really cool. We rode a lot of the stuff up, or the prologue we went up a lot of the creeks. The creeks we went up in the prologue, we basically came down in the main event today.
So yes, the one at Winchell's Water Slide.
Yep.
That creek, y'all went up it in the prologue and then back down. How was it going down in the main today?
Well, it was the first lap. I greased it. There was a huge slab rock we had to get up.
Yep.
So intimidating looking.
Yeah.
Cole Clarkson. Well, what was cool, so that whole section, Tyler and them, the whole crew did a bunch of work. They had a ton of trees down from the hurricane a couple years ago. And there was some of, these trees I can't wrap my arms around that had fallen, and they're suspended 20 feet above the creek below. So there's people sitting on these huge logs we're going under. So you go under these, and then the drone's flying under them, and then we have to hit this rock. And it was very intimidating. Cole hit it before me, carried the front wheel out and wheelied out of it. I was like, that was cool.
Yeah.
So the first lap, never had a problem, did everything perfect that in front of Winsel's, hit that rock, wheelied out, almost looped it out, luckily hit the rear brake, got the front end down, and it was awesome. Second lap, as soon as I dropped into that creek, right where I struggled so bad in the prologue, didn't have my bike on because it was pretty steep downhill. A rocket got kicked out and I saw it. Front wheel hit it, threw me over the bars, got my elbow. Luckily, and the bike ended up on top of me. Luckily, Jason Gilliland, one of the guys who used to race with us all the time, was there. Him and his 3 buddies came up, and luckily I'd gotten out of the bike at this point, got out from under the bike at this point, but they they would have been there if I needed them. So I did that. Then I tried that big freaking slab rock again. Neil Durbin had crashed on it, and so he was trying to get out of the way. I let him move, and I flubbed it, got to the top, laid the bike down. I was literally about to fall off the rock, but I was holding on to my handlebar. It was keeping me up, slipped a foot. Well, when I slipped, I yanked on the bike and me go to the bottom, get to do it over again. So my poor bike, in the span of about 100 yards, took some pretty heavy hits, unfortunately. But hey, we got that lap finished, did another check, and it was a heck of a day. It's the most laps I've ever done. I've only ever done 1 lap on Sunday, so getting 2 laps was pretty sweet. I really enjoyed it.
Sounds great. We're almost out of time, so I think I'm going to just cut it.
All right, man. Well, hey, Battle of the Goats 2026 is done. East Coast Swing has started.
Yeah.
Next up is Locked and Loaded up in Sugarloaf, Pennsylvania. So thank you guys for listening.
What's up, y'all? I'm here with Tyler Mull, the man behind Brushy Mountain Motorsports. What'd you think?
Oh man, I think the race went great. You know, we try to step it up every year, and this race we've just seemed to find more ravines and bigger rocks, and you know, you think you're going to find something to slow them down, and these guys keep getting better and better and better, and they send it, and it sticks, and they climb, and you never know what these guys can do, and it blows my mind away every year that they keep getting better.
Well, and the weather really cooperated this year. I don't think we've ever had a full weekend with just no rain.
No rain.
The temperature's perfect. Like, if you missed this race, you really missed a good one.
Oh yeah, this race ended up being just awesome. The weather was so good. The rain that we were supposed to get yesterday went from 100% chance to a 20% chance, and we didn't get anything. It's been blue skies and sunshine all weekend long. It's dry and dusty. The traction's phenomenal.
It's not dusty everywhere. There were some damn mud holes out there.
Yeah, the especially yesterday with the BC race, we finally nicknamed it the shit pit. It was about a 2 foot deep of just mud that came out of nowhere. We hit a wet weather spring.
I think I hit it today. Luckily, I was at full throttle.
Yeah, it was. It's pretty rough, and I do know some of the rocks out here with some of the slabs that we sent you guys on were just
they got slick.
They got slick. They got real slick, but everybody seemed to do really well.
Yeah. So what the main thing I've noticed, the difficulty level, I guess it's the equipment, it's the riders are getting better, but some of the hardest sections from years past are now the pros bypass them because the pros do harder lines.
Yeah.
Like, what's up with that?
You put bypasses in some of the hard lines only because the fact that some of the lines are just impassable.
Thank you for not making me go up some of those pro lines.
Yeah, there's some of those waterfalls out there we bypass for sure. They end up getting a little dangerous, but a lot of the stuff, if the pros were going to be in it, we wanted to not give them a bypass, and then we didn't want it to be that hard for the A guys, even though you guys still had a nice butt whooping. But it just like the stuff that we've had in the past. It seems like you guys are riding it a lot better, so we try to up our game, and you just keep on getting better and better and better.
Yeah, I guess the sport's maturing, and you got all these young guys, all these Hawaiians. It's just, it's not just Tristan and Cody and Ryder. It's a whole, group of them.
In between 15 and 18 years old, it's a handful of riders that are just they're killing it. They're going to be our next pro riders. They're going to be the ones that that we're looking up to, and the kids that are growing up are looking up to. And it's I cannot believe how good they have gotten between the ages of 16, 17, and 18. They're absolutely killing it. I know at that age that, heck, I was barely off a dang pit bike, and these guys are riding stuff that I look at now, and I'm like, I can't walk up it, and they're going up it. It just blows my mind, dude. It blows my mind.
So do you have an idea of where Mustache Rides is going to be next year?
Oh, so I don't know. I kind of like where Mustache Ride is in the course. I don't know if I will extend it, make it a little wider, and
so there is a section already.
Oh yeah. So at the bottom without a paddle.
Okay.
At the bottom without a paddle, the last creek you guys came down, you hang a left, and you had that rock ledge up there. I will probably utilize that hillside a whole lot more next year.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay.
That Max was the first one to hit it. And I thought it was the best spot to call the Mustache Ride. It was good.
Perfect. All right. Well, if anybody didn't know, Max Gearston and Tyler have some of the best mustaches I've ever seen. So check them out on Instagram. Anyways, thank you, Tyler. Can't wait for next year.
Appreciate it, guys. We look forward to having you guys back out here again, and we're going to continue to have the best race we possibly can year after year.
Well, if I had a vote, I think y'all have the best race. So keep it going.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Will.
What's up, y'all? I'm here with third place finisher at Battle of the Goats, Cody Webb. How'd it go today?
Yeah, it went well. Started out really good, and then middle of the first lap, all took a crap, and then rebounded and rode solid the whole rest of the day. Really pushed hard, felt good on the bike. Really happy with it. Just a little frustrating to lose all that ground in the first lap. Same thing happened in Moab, but too many crashes that first lap really took it out of me.
I hear you. What did you think of the dry weather and the conditions? We don't normally have totally dry weather out here.
Yeah, it was great for the race today. They obviously made parts of the track harder. It would have been really rough if it rained. Goat rope probably would have been near impossible because there's quite a bit of moisture there since it was untouched. And but it was good. It made for a good race. And, I had more energy basically than I would have anticipated normally. So allowed us to push harder, I think. It made for a little bit better race than just full survival.
Yeah, it looked like you guys were actually charging there at the end, where I know sometimes it's just survival out here.
Yeah. Like there's years past where you're cramping that last lap and you're like, I just need to finish and get the hell out of here. And today I would have been, I don't know. If I was way back, I didn't want another lap, but the fact that I was right there and made up so much ground, I was like, I need another lap. But unfortunately, we didn't have it.
What do you think about the Pro A splits in this race? Think it's a good move?
Yeah, I think Pro A splits are necessary, right? Like obviously A is the building class to get to Pro, but at the same time you have some of the AVEC guys or people who used to race Pro. It takes too much effort to be at the top. So it's great to have Pro A splits because it allows the pros to get fully challenged and it allows A's to have a great race without killing them.
And I guess, was this the first year they ran BC on Saturday? So really the lappers weren't there. Well, obviously there were some A guys getting lapped, but for the most part, we try to get out of your way.
Yeah, it was pretty minimal. I thought it was a great format. And Moab kind of was something similar, but the B's and C's still raced. But they did a good job of splitting up the race course and separating the BCs from the hard stuff in Moab. Whereas here, it was really only Will Preston with American Hard Enduro who held me up today. No, he wasn't the only one, but it was hilarious when I caught you. I didn't even know it was you, and you came afterwards. And we were on the slickest thing. Like, there was no way you can push.
Was that the slickest spot on the whole track?
I don't know if it was the slickest spot, but it was one of those things where, like, if you don't make it all in one go, you're done. But it's not steep enough that you're coming off of it. So
was that at Chutes and Ladders?
Chutes and Ladders, yeah.
It was where the ladder used to be.
The ladder used to be, so it's just a chute now. And you were on the left and just black, greasy slime over there.
Go anywhere.
And I got off to the right thinking I could hold it, but I couldn't keep the momentum. And next thing you know, I'm on my tippy toes with my Trial Soul CDs, and I'm like, please don't slip. And I think you gave me like a little push on my rear fender or something to get out of there.
Please, I don't want to hold you up anymore.
But as a whole, like, it was a great course they had for, I think, all skill levels this year.
All right, sick. Well, I had fun. It sounds like you guys had fun, and I guess we'll see you at the next one.
Yeah, we'll be there. See you there.
All right, I'm here with Factory Husqvarna Ryder LeBlanc. Ryder second place on the day. Don't really care about that. I want to hear the story you told me about a lapper who messed you up on a hill climb. Tell me about this.
Yeah, man. Charging hard at the end, trying to get that win, and just some little kid on an e-bike's out there.
E-moto
Comes right across this puddle, splashes me, and then I loop around the tree to go up the hill. Halfway up the hill, realize he's in the middle of the line.
Still.
Yeah, just crying. He's this little kid. And then I had to go back down and do it again, and then get pulled up.
So there was this gnarly section. It's up above American Hard Enduro Creek section. Used to be in years past, we went out to the right, and we thought that was hard. Well, this year, out to the right was the run up to come back down, hit the valley, and go up this gnarly climb. So did you ever just like turn left and go straight up, or did you have to go hit the run up to the right?
I always hit the run up on it.
Did you straight line it, or did you have to get up, left, right?
Mostly straight lined it. Not straight, but up until you could off camber right.
So what do you think about the Pro A splits? Because I'm sure, I guess you probably didn't get behind any A riders, but I had pros behind me, and it was kind of mixing it up. What do you think of them?
I think it worked great because I didn't have any issues with lappers. Like a couple little spots, but nothing bad. Like maybe like 20, 30 seconds here or there, but nothing big like in the past. So race was great. The way it was laid out, the splits were hard. Definitely the hardest ghost we've ever had. It was dry and it was still the hardest. If it was wet, I can't even imagine. I mean, obviously they'd have to take some stuff out if it was wet.
Some of that stuff, like obviously the one slab and Lost My Balls, wet or dry, it is what it is. But like some of y'all's other ones, what did you think of Goat Rope, a new section they added?
It was good. Second lap, actually, that's one of those times that I hit some lappers. There were 2 or 3 guys there. Luckily, Chewy was there, gave me a little tug. He's kind of useless. I already told him that. A little out of the pool game, a little out of the tug game, but other than that, yeah, that was one of the easier sections in my opinion. If we had to go straight up the waterfall, I can't imagine how that would be, but luckily we could go to the left or right of it, and it was still gnarly. It was a cool section, crazy waterfall. I saw some videos of guys coming down it, so glad I didn't, and yeah, glad stayed pretty clean for the most part. A couple little mistakes, but nothing too crazy.
All right, well, I saw Max Gearston on Friday. Bars bent. He had tried to go across the top of Goat Rope, lost it. Luckily, he didn't go down, but he said his bike went down and it wasn't any good.
Yeah.
Oh, we got your dad. Your dad just got called for third place in 50A. All right, Ryder, man, thanks. What's next? We're going to your home state of Pennsylvania. What's the plan for up there?
Yeah, heading up to Pennsylvania. I think the boys are going to send it at Wellsville the next couple weeks.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, me and Tristan getting some practice on the rocks and, yeah, see how it goes. And, yeah, excited to see what sounds like the finals going to be down in that Hell's Hollow or whatever they call it there, that little hollow that's there. And I'm excited to see what that's like. That's the fun stuff. I don't care for those chunky rocks there. I don't know if anybody does, but
oh, they're so bad. I don't like them on the downhills because they start gathering and then they build like you go over the bars. It's so scary.
Yeah, pretty sketchy transfer trails at that one sometimes. So looking forward to it though.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on second place. We'll see you in a couple weeks.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Drew Kirby here with American Hard Enduro. Tristan just rode off on his dirt bike, so I've got his fill-in mechanic. It's not Nigel, it's Nick.
That's right.
Who's normally Johnny Gerard's mechanic for GNCC. Nick, how was it out there today?
Actually pretty good conditions, sunny, clear skies, a little bit wet over there in the river, but everywhere else, not much dust, so overall, I'd say good race.
So you've been Ryder's mechanic for the first couple rounds. Now you're working for Tristan. What do you think? Hard Enduro is way better than GNCC, right?
Ooh, might have to come back to you on that one.
Oh wow, really? You're talking to a Hard Enduro guy, so you know the answer.
Hey, verdict's still out. I don't know, man.
Well, you got your first win today, so hopefully the check will cash. So, all right, man. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Battle of the Goats 2026. The first time in the history of Battle of the Goats it's been dry. Tristan Hart with a win. What'd you think?
Yeah, it was a good course. Was thinking maybe it was going to be too easy, but it actually, first lap especially, was difficult. I had to get off and push maybe 4 times. But then the course broke in and it actually, besides one spot, it was not super difficult. Like this one waterfall at Bulls Creek was on the limit for everyone, I think. I threw my bike down at one lap. Legitimately thought, like, I'm not going to get up it.
Well, last year we had a way around it. You hear what just pulled up. The loud 4-stroke. Third place on the day for Cody Webb. But other than Lost My Balls, which last year there was a go-around, I think Ryder hit the straightway that you guys had to hit. Like, just no run-in. Luckily the A's went around it, so I didn't have to deal with it. So just no run-in. What was it?
Yeah, no run-in, and it was on an angle. Pretty tough, but yeah, the course was good. Conditions were almost too dry because there wasn't enough moisture in the dirt to like hold up a berm. So lots of this stuff was more difficult being that dry. And the creeks, I think, from having the lack of rain or water, had like the algae on it. So the creeks were more slippery than normal. So luckily they stepped the course way up and it was a pretty good course.
Yeah, if it rained, do you think they'd have to take some stuff out? Because I was looking at some hills we went up like, dude, there's no way if it's wet.
If it rained, it would have been a gnarly race. Like 2 laps would have been probably 4 hours and just a battle to the finish. It would have been sick, but this was also fun.
Well, you guys, I think we're supposed to do 4 laps. You end up doing 3.
Yeah, I guess the course was harder than they anticipated, and 3 was perfect. I was 3 hours. The other guys were right behind me, so 3 hours is perfect.
All right, congrats. What's next? You got anything planned before? What do we got? Locked and loaded?
Yeah, locked and loaded. We're going to go ride Ohio, Wellsville this week, so that's always a good time. Throw some bikes down Crazy Horse or whatever it's called. And yeah, just have some fun there.
All right, congratulations. We'll see you in Pennsylvania.
Thank you.